Hey guys, Jin here with another episode of the Otakuology podcast where we like to talk about a lot of nerdy things. So, as always, my co-host Mike.
Hello, hello, hello.
So,
Welcome to another episode.
Mike needs no opener presenter because he's the show himself, you know.
I can't do my Macho Man voice right now.
You're watching, man. I almost said brother, and I was like, that's not even the same guy.
Ooh, yeah, brother. I can't do it. My throat hurts right now.
Goodness. But
Yeah.
today we are covering one book from, or one of the, would you call it a book?
Short
Or
story,
just
kind
a
of.
story? Yeah.
I mean, I would call it a short story, but it's like 10 fucking chapters.
It's 11.
I think it's 11. Sorry, 11 chapters. So it's technically its own book.
Right? Almost. So we are covering one story out of Akira Toriyama's manga theater. This one is called Go Go Ackman.
Yeah.
So I was pleased that I got to pick the first one out of this that we cover, because we're going to take some of these other bigger stories that do have multiple ones in it and kind of cover it in cute little bite-sized chunks for y'all for shows, so y'all can read them and maybe get into it. This will also give you time, if y'all would like to pick up the book too, you'll know that we'll be covering it in the future if you want to cover it with us and kind of do like a little weird buddy read, I guess.
Yeah, I guess like a buddy read, because like I mean, honestly, like picking up this manga, I suggested, I was like, hey, let's check this out and let's read this. I think you might have been on the might have been on the fence about it. I can't remember.
Can we talk about that? How funny it was? No, I took a picture of this when it first came out, and I couldn't buy it because I didn't have enough money. Like I went to get what did I go to get? I went to get a different book, one that we'd already talked about before. And I was like, okay, well, I got to buy this book. And so I bought the book, and I was like, I don't have enough to buy this book.
This is like a $30. This is like a $30.
I was really upset. I think it's when I went to go buy Zom 100.
Okay.
And so I was like, I don't have enough. Like, if I buy this, then I can't buy that.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at it, and I wanted it.
Well, like, I was like, oh, this sounds interesting. Like, we never really get more Akira Toriyama stuff other than Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z stuff, right? Like, occasionally we'll get other things, but not.
Right.
I mean, we got like Dr. Slump and like occasional one shots.
Yeah, Dr. Slump and Sandland and Kawa.
Yeah,
but we don't get a lot. Yeah, I mean, I agree.
Yeah, and this is cool. And I picked it up, and I was looking. I think I was looking at like Amazon reviews for it, and I was like, oh man, this is like a lot of content. And I was like, well, what if we take these and like turn them into episodes of the podcast and like talk about them? Because I've never really read Akira Toriyama except for the Jacko book or the Jocko book.
Yeah,
the Jocko.
Yeah, and that's related to Dragon Ball. So
yeah, that's related to Dragon Ball. So like, having things that's not related to Dragon, even though I like Dragon Ball, I'm not the biggest fan of anything after that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like Dragon Ball Z that much. I don't care for Super, like, whatsoever. You know, it's not my cup of tea, you know.
Right. Yeah. Well, and then the other thing is, like, I have it and I haven't read it yet, and I don't know if I've completed the series yet, but he did have a Dragon Quest manga that came out. That I haven't finished yet.
Are you thinking of the Dragon Quest Plus manga?
Yeah.
Because they're actually releasing the original Dragon Quest manga in 2-in-1s in March.
Oh,
I don't think it was made by Akira Toriyama, but it's supposed to be like really good, like a really good manga. I pre-ordered it actually the other day.
Oh man, what if they do like they did to his Blue Dragon one? That would be weird.
Uh,
So you know, Blue Dragon was originally one of his works.
well, what blue didn't he just work on the character design for that? I don't think he had any like story input on that.
I don't know. I can't remember that because it's been so long. But you
I mean,
know, then
he does do like character designs for like video games because he did that for Dragon Quest and like Chrono Trigger
yeah.
was one of
Well,
them. You know,
I know Dragon Quest is one of his games or one of his
well he just
things.
does the character designs for those. He doesn't work on the story for those
But
whatsoever. He's not a story guy on those. He just makes the characters and designs all the monsters for those.
yeah. So well, you know, they have another manga called Raw Grodd that
Oh yeah.
is a rendition off of Blue Dragon, but the art is set up more like um a rougher set of like oh my god, the big manga that you and I have talked about because some people hate it and everybody else loves it. Death Note.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's got like rougher art to it like that.
I mean, does he even like do manga anymore? Like drawing manga?
Akira Toriyama,
Mm-hmm.
I believe so.
Because I don't think he's drawing Dragon Ball Super. I think he's just writing it.
I don't know. I haven't looked at that because I own Super, but I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, because Super looks a lot different than his normal art. It looks like somebody's trying to ape Akira Toriyama.
Yeah, I don't
But
know.
yeah, I thought this would be fun to do, and I asked you to pick it up so we could talk about it. You know, and it's cool that you picked this one. I think it's the longest story in this book.
Right, and I only picked it off of the first three pages, three colored pages of the book.
Well,
So
it's funny that you mentioned Go Go Ackman. I said Ackman? Is that it?
uh,
Ackman? Is that as you
yeah,
say
I
it?
think it's Ackman because it's
Ackman?
ACK man.
I kept wanting to say Ackmel or something like that. Like
I kept wanting to throw a T in it.
or like Ahmed. It's
Right,
Ahmed.
I kept calling him Octman. I
I
was like,
kept wanting to
no,
say like Ahmed or like Akaman, you know, like something like that.
Ahmed the dead terrorist.
But it's funny. It's funny that you. Yeah, it's funny that you say like you picked this one because I posted on Instagram and somebody was like, "Yeah, like Go Go Ackman is like really good,"
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, I haven't read that one yet." And it's funny that you picked that one for us to do for us to cover. But yeah, this is cool because like a lot of people are like wanting to get this book and like check it out because it's not something that we normally get.
Well, and so we've talked about it just to throw the fillers out for the audience and everything. Um, Me and Mike were kind of on the same wavelength with this because I was thinking about doing on my little side shows and covering the chapters of the Juji Ito books because I have a few of those I'm trying to finish up in my collection. And so Mike told me about that, and I said, "Well, we could do this with the Juji Ito books too." I was thinking the same thing, and we kind of had one of those. You were, yeah. Oh my gosh, married
Well,
couple, you know.
it's funny. Like I don't want to get like to like the nitty gritty, but like we kind of started covering other things because of the fact that we were running out of manga to cover together.
Right, or ones that we were going to have to reread
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah,
So I'm not saying this is like a cop out. We're still going to talk about other manga as well, but you know, occasionally we're going to talk about some Akira Toriyama stuff. You know.
we're going to throw y'all a curveball with the theater or some Junji books or somebody. Just whoever has a book of short stories. Okay, that's about it.
I think it's always fun to cover like short stories because we don't normally get those.
Right. Well, and then the other thing that I think will benefit a lot of people with this is we're talking about one story that is out of this whole thing because it's a collection of stories, you know.
Yeah, it's like 30 fucking stories in this book.
They're all by the same person, but even if we give you any spoilers on this one, there's so many more that you can cover and we will spoil nothing on those.
because this is like 3 manga in one.
Yeah.
Like, because I went and looked it up, and like it consists of like 3 tankobons. So these are like released before, in the middle, and after Dragon Ball came out,
Yeah.
or his Dragon Ball work, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball came out. So you get a wide variety of like different stories.
Right.
But anyways,
This is kind of like what's the guy's name? Mashima, the guy
oh,
that wrote
Hiro
Fairy Tale.
Mashima.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's got Hiramashima's Playground, and
yeah.
he's got one of short stories too like that. So isn't it kind of funny how people like name their
Is it
stuff
a
after like
hardcover?
no, it's soft.
Oh, fuck him then.
Yeah. Well, I think it was before people thought about putting hardcovers out
uh,
on ones that were like this because the only person like that was Junji.
yeah, Junji. Yeah.
But why that's another thing. Why do people have like fun like titles to their stuff? Because it says their name,
Uh,
whoever's like they own it, and then
yeah.
this one says theater on it, and Mashima says playground, and then I'm pretty sure other people have other ones that's called like circus, like so
I don't know.
we just have
But
different ones like that.
you wanna get into this first chapter
Yeah.
of Go Go Ackman. So our story starts out. Uh, it's a nice day. We come upon a house that is uh has a demon family in it. A demon family, and the demon mom is like, rise and grind, sleepyhead. Time for you to wake up. Uh, this little scamp Ackman has been sleeping for like 50 years. He's taking a 50-year-old nap. You know, and he's like, oh man, I can't believe I've been asleep this long. I like this part in the morning. I want to start using this instead of good morning, bad morning, bad morning, family, bad morning.
Right.
I thought that was funny. So he comes down to breakfast and like, oh, Ackman, we woke you up because today is your 200th birthday. And his dad is all happy and excited because Ackman is going to start, I guess, the family tradition, or I guess it's kind of like he's getting a job. I wasn't really for sure about this.
Yeah,
Where he's
it's
going
kind
to
of a coming of age thing.
a coming of age type of situation where he's going to harvest innocent souls and kill people to basically get money and live off of the souls.
That makes me
Because
think about this. Would you say that this is technically like one of our first dark heroes instead of Light Yagami?
I guess so, because he's kind of a little like shithead.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's like an enemy, he's got to kill the good people.
He's a bad guy. He's a demon, and
Right.
uh, he's all excited. He's all excited to as he likes to say, he's like, all right, it's time to murder, mayhem, and massacre. But we find out that each soul he gets, and depending on how the person lived their life, is depending on how valuable said soul will be, and how much they say life points, which in terms
Yeah.
from life points to money in this, it or the soul
Yeah.
is the life points. I'm not 100% sure on that. Do you know that?
Yeah, no, the life points is how much it's worth, and then that changes over into a transfer sum for money
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
by the Demon King guy or whatever.
Yeah, so he's all ready to go. He's got his pitchfork. He's ready. He's in his little Dracula outfit, and his sister's like, "Hey, numbnuts, it's
Which
summer."
which everything goes into this really. So like not only like how the person lived their life, but how old the soul is,
Yeah.
is it multiple people? And it's really weird how the story unfolds, because as we get through that, there's more and more that's kind of told to us.
Yeah.
So you get more points if something else happens to the spirit. If you don't kill them directly, you get more points.
Yeah, I think it's if you kill them personally, you get half the points. I think it is.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, his sister's like, "Hey, look, that outfit's not gonna work for you. That outfit's not good. You know, it's old and moldy and musty." And he ends up getting a nice little, I guess I would say, a punk rock inspired outfit,
right.
where he's got a shirt with a skull on it, like the Punisher, some shorts, and he's got Trunks' sword from Dragon Ball Z.
Basically,
That's he looks like if you took like
which
kid if
that's
you took
another thing I question with Ackman and with Trunks, is
uh
if you're already so powerful, why do you have a sword?
just to look cool, I guess.
Like, it's not made from any kind of special metal. It's just a regular old sword.
No,
So
Trunks's sword was special. If you watched like one of the Dragon Ball movies, it's like a special sword.
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
I just
it's one of the
I just
Dragon Ball
remember
movies.
I just
There
remember where he pulled it out and Goku like snapped it in half, and it was like, oh
there's a
no.
whole movie about how Trunks gets his sword.
Oh well, it's a pretty shitty sword if Goku broke it real fast. Boop. That's what I'm
I
saying.
remember that.
I feel like it should be like weapons for like Trunks and Aquaman and everything should be like legendary weapons. Like, it should almost be like Shazam's power, because you think about like Superman and how nothing
Uh-huh.
virtually can hurt him, and then you have Shazam and he can hurt him, and I feel like that's what this sword has to be. Is it's like, okay, this has to be like somebody's kind of sort of kryptonite, but it's never used that way. So even if it is magical, it's
Yeah.
just a regular old sword,
So Ackman goes out looking for souls, trying to find souls. He gets distracted by a vending machine, and he's like, "Oh, what's that?" And he's like, his little bat friend, whose name is Gordon, by the way. And Gordon's like, "Oh, that's a vending machine." He sees this nice, cool car race by, and he's like, "Oh, is that an automobile or an aeroplane?"
right?
And I like this. And Gordon's like, "Oh, sir, look out! There's a soul to be harvested on the beach. It's a woman." And he's like, "Ah, I'm gonna kill you!" And he's like, "Take your soul." And what does Ackman get distracted by? He gets distracted by a beautiful young woman who looks
In her swimsuit,
in her swimsuit, and she looks a lot like Bulma or Marin from Dragon Ball.
right?
And he's like, what's going on? What's going on?" He's like, "What? Why would somebody walk around on the beach like that? What kind of clothes are those?" And like this little gag where Gordon's like, "Sir, that is what we call a, a high cut swimsuit." So Aquaman
Right.
does not kill this lady whatsoever.
He's got Yamcha fever.
He does have Yamcha fever, like totally Yamcha fever on this.
Which,
You
if
know,
if anybody like doesn't know that, if you haven't read Dragon Ball and you're just a Dragon Ball Z fan, so Yamcha in Dragon Ball was deathly scared of women, and Bulma was the one that got him out of that, to know that he's just a normal guy, basically, in Dragon Ball Z. So
yeah, true.
Aquaman is basically the same way, because he can't stand to be around women
Yeah.
or to see anything, you know, that's sexy or anything like that. So it's kind of a funny gag throughout this.
Yeah, no, most definitely. It's a gag that kind of shows up occasionally throughout the story. Um,
I'd
yeah, you
say
want
it
to take
it shows up almost every chapter.
you want to take the next part as Achman goes and tries to find more souls and figure out what souls he actually wants to take.
Yeah. So we're in chapter 2, right?
Yeah.
So he gets in his chapter, and he gets into this chapter, and we're trying to find some souls and everything again. And we kind of get this thing where we have two guys that are trying to bully a lady. Uh, take that as you will. What was going to happen with that, but
Oh,
she has a
where they were those hooligans. Those
yeah,
hooligans were trying to maybe possibly sexually assault this poor woman.
right, right. But
who who
we get both of these guys, and instead of obviously, you have to remember that Ackman is not a hero.
He's not
So
a hero.
his response is he walks up and he goes, "Oh, can I help you? Like take her life? You know, kind of
I
sort
like
of thing."
I like this part though. Like, if she's not a defenseless woman, you know, she's not defenseless. She pulls out a fucking switchblade, and she's like,
Right,
"By the time I blink, y'all fuckers better be gone, or I'm gonna fucking cut the shit out of you."
right. Which
You know?
I think this is too the area where Ackman realizes that he wants a gun
Yeah.
after he gets shot, because after this we start seeing him with a gun more.
Well, he does. Does he get? Oh yeah, he does get shot in this one. Yeah.
Yeah, he gets shot in the head, and then he kind of does one of those. Uh, oh, what character does it? Somebody else gets shot, and the bullet does the same thing.
Superman.
No, is it Hellboy where it goes into his skull and then he like forces it out?
Oh, I
No,
can't
no, no.
remember.
It's Wolverine.
It's Wolverine.
Yeah,
Yes,
Wolverine
these.
from the second movie where the policeman shoots him in the forehead.
Oh yeah. Then these
Yeah,
guys are like basically like, buzz off, kid. You don't know what you're talking about. But he really wants to fucking help them. Like, he really wants to help these guys kill this poor woman. Or not,
right,
she's not a poor defenseless woman, but
right.
he wants to help, and they shoot him in the head, and as you said before, the bullet does bounce off,
Yeah, he
and
forces it out of his
yeah,
forehead.
he forces out his forehead, and he's like, he wants to kill this woman, and as he's beaten, I like the scene where like he's uh Gordon's like, Master Ackman, the woman is escaping. And
Yeah,
as she's riding away on like this like moped, she's like flipping him off, and she's like, "Fuck you, bitch!"
yeah,
And he's like, "I didn't ask for your fucking help. Leave me the fuck alone." And
right.
he's like, "What a woman."
I kind of really wonder where uh I kind of wonder if this takes place in the Dragon Ball Z Doctor Slump universe.
Oh, that's interesting to think
Because
about.
what if this was like a potential, like he wrote this, but what if there was like a crossover?
Well, I mean, there are demons in the Dragon Ball world,
That's true.
you know.
That is true.
But I love this scene where she's just driving off. And he's like, "What a magnificent woman."
Right.
And then Gordon's like, "It's such a shame she got away. She would have made a made us a lot of money."
Right.
And then
So
we got like
then
this. Yeah, go ahead.
he asked Gordon about the villains,
Yeah,
whatever, whoever these guys were, the thieves, or you know whatever. And he's like, oh well, we wouldn't get very many points for them. Don't worry about it. Which, that's kind of another thing I wonder about with this, is if it was like low points, even if it happened, they didn't want them, and I'm like, you're supposed
yeah.
to be just
They
building up
only
points.
wanted the high points,
Right. And I'm like, after this, if you would have just taken all these low point people, you would have had high points.
which we'll get to that later.
Yeah. So, and then he sees a mother and child, which this kind of reminds me off of this Halloween movie, Satan's Little Helper,
Uh huh.
because in the movie it's based off a video game, and
Yeah.
so in the video game you have to like hit people with cars or whatever, and you get
Hmm.
points.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, hit that old lady crossing the road, 50 points.
Yeah.
So we have Gordon where he picks out and he says, "Oh, look, here's a mother and child. That's got to be worth at least 60 points."
Yeah, he's like, they're so innocent.
Right? And then we get a breeze.
A breeze, and and Gordon's weakness shows up again. He happens to catch a
Uh,
glimpse of the mom's.
Ackman's
Oh,
weakness.
not Gordon. Sorry, I know I said Gordon. Ackman. Ackman catches a glimpse of some nice panties, and
From the
he's like,
sundress.
from the sundress, because she's wearing a dress, and he's like, "Why would a mother wear panties like that?" And Gordon's like, "That's what we call a G-string, sir." So, as we know, Gordon is obviously a cultured individual.
Right?
Gordon is what we call cultured.
He knows
He
way too much.
he knows way too much about ladies' underpants and
Right?
swimwear. But yeah, so we're moving on. After that whole fiasco happens, Ackman and Gordon are like still walking around looking for stuff, and Ackman is like cursing, and he's like, "Man, I really want to fucking kill somebody. Just let me kill somebody, get some souls, get some money." And he sees this person walking this old man across the street, and he's like, "What? There's that angel turd right there. That he's the goody two shoe angel turd."
This is probably my favorite relationship in a manga right now.
Okay, you want to talk about this part where they both see each other? Then
Yes.
okay,
So, the angel looks and sees Aquaman and starts yelling at him. Which does
yeah.
the angel ever get a name?
I think they just call him Angel, but I called him Angel Turd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um.
think he's just Angel.
So they bring it up, and then they kind of it seems like they know each other from somewhere before.
Yes, I think they've had
Um.
history.
But we just don't really know. And this angel is packing some heat.
Well, I love this
Um.
part where they're talking. They're talking across the street from each other,
Yeah.
like yelling at each other. And he's like, "What? You have a sword? You've been killing people? Just killing people?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm killing people. I'm gonna cause havoc and just
Yeah.
kill all these people."
Sticks his
He's like,
tongue out and flips him
sticks his
off.
tongue, sticks his tongue out and like flips him off. He's like, "Nyeh, nyeh, nyeh, nyeh." But I like this. I like this part that you were talking about, where the angel pulls out a handgun and tries to shoot Ackman, and Ackman dodges, and this angel just kills this guy. You know,
Yeah.
it's, angels don't
Yeah.
do that.
Right. And then they collect the soul for that guy.
And he's like, "Oh, thanks for killing this guy for me, Angel. Thanks, it's so much. It's so awesome. Yeah, I didn't have to do any work to kill him.
Right. And
You're
then
the best."
in Angel's anger, he pulls out a bazooka
A bazooka, and he's like
to
trying to
try
kill
and
Ackman,
shoot Aquaman.
but he misses, and he ends up blowing up a bus full of innocent people.
Yes.
Oh, this scene is
I
so
think
funny.
I think that is probably one of the worst parts. Which then at the end of the chapter, we do see that now he has a tank and blows up like half the town. And the only way we really know that the extent of what happened is because Gordon brings up and says, "I don't think we can fit any more souls in this bottle,
Yeah, that's
Lockman."
true. Yeah, and Ackman
So
offers to team up with Angel
yes,
to because apparently he's getting him a lot of souls because of
yes,
Angel's stupidity.
yes,
Yeah, yeah,
yes, and that's the worst part is how Angel is like he's killing more. I mean, I don't. I think when we get to the end of this, Ackman never kills anybody. It's all Angel killing them.
I think he maybe kills like one person or something like that.
I don't know.
He had to have killed those guys in the last chapter.
No, because he asked if he asked Gordon if he could kill him, and he said no, it's not worth the points.
I mean, he's had to kill somebody, right?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. But can we
I
talk about
think that's the
this?
worst part.
Can we talk about this next cover for this chapter? This chapter 4 we've got going on here.
Yeah, you mean
Why?
the Fuhrer outfit?
Why? Why is he dressed up in an SS uniform?
Good point. I don't know.
He never wears this in the manga.
There's no telling.
There's no telling why he's dressed up in
Yeah,
a German uniform.
goodness.
But yeah, Ackman now has a car. He bought his car with all this money. He's driving around in it. So he got the fancy new sports car. And he
Right,
finds out, oh, wanted poster, Angel, 2 million yen
mass
for
murderer.
capture. What?
Mass murderer.
Oh yeah, mass murder. It says little angel or LIL angel. Mass
Yeah, little.
murderer. Yeah, reward 2 million yen. And Ackman's like, damn. Ha 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 ha. Angel's wanted for murder. What? 2 million yen? I gotta get my hands on this guy. Little does he know Angel is right around the corner
Right,
and throws a grenade in Ackman's car, blowing up his brand new car. What's up with that?
right.
Well,
Ackman
how
does
can
it
why can he do something so heinous? Like,
because
come on.
he's Angel. You know, he's bad.
He's like, man, I just bought that car. I just bought that car. And we see Angel running around in his diaper with sunglasses on, he has a Uzi, it looks like, and he's like trying to get revenge on Ackman. And Ackman's not gonna have it. He's gonna catch this bounty, get his 2 million yen, and he's like, he sees this woman in the woods because he ran to the woods because it was the safest place for him. He's like, oh, there's a madman running around here. You need to uh, go away and save yourself. And the
Right. There
angel
was
thinks it's
a loud boom.
a loud boom. And Angel thinks Ackman's around, and Ackman is not
Yeah.
around.
Ackman sends the lady in Angel's direction,
Yes.
and thinking that it's Ackman, Angel fills her full of lead.
And shoots her.
Yeah, and yet another person is taken out by Angel.
And I didn't I didn't mean to kill her.
Right.
He's like,
Which
oh, thanks,
I like
man.
the end of
Thanks.
this the scene or the end of this chapter where he turns him in obviously to get the money, and
Yeah.
then he basically says, "Oh, well maybe I should help him escape so I can turn him in again."
Yeah. So he basically gets 2 million yen off this dude.
Right.
I think this chapter right here, this next chapter, is my favorite. Well, I think my favorite chapter in this book. For
Oh,
this story.
I mean I liked them collectively, this one and the next one, but I didn't feel like it added very much.
I don't know. I just like it. Uh, but we see Angel in the what it seems like the middle of nowhere, and he's like, "Oh, you're Michael Yamada, the world's greatest assassin." He's like, "Hey, will you show me proof that you can kill this guy? You know, I need you to kill this guy." And he shows him a picture of Ackman, and he's like, "Yeah." He's like, just puts the picture on the floor or on the ground, shoots his gun up in the air, and bam, smack, pow,
Yeah,
Ackman,
right on the picture.
right on the picture. He's like, "Oh, I never miss my target.
Yeah.
I'm also a heavily skilled martial artist, and I'm
Which
a
who
level
who
2
cares
calligrapher."
who carries around,
Bricks.
tiles to break? Yeah. I was like, what the heck?
He pulls him out of his suitcase.
Right.
But
Which
I love this
I like the part where he's like, it's gonna cost you 3,000 yen a minute.
a minute. And he's like, "What? What are you talking about? 3,000 yen a minute? Are you fucking nuts?" And he's like, "I'll hire you for 5 minutes."
That's all the money I have.
That's all the money I have. I'll hire you for 5 minutes. He's like, okay, come between 2
So
and 5.
how much is that?
205.
15,000 yen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got to work on his calligraphy classes that he has to learn more how to do calligraphy and stuff.
No, I was just thinking, so after the next couple chapters or whatever, seeing how much Angel actually spent,
Yeah.
And then on the
Yeah.
way to the flats, because it's the northern flats is where he wanted him to come to.
Yeah.
Ackman stops and sees a takoyaki truck, which is octopus balls.
Yeah.
And actually eats up the 5 minutes that the assassin's going to actually be able to kill him.
Yeah. So I think the assassin shows up 5 minutes early or something like that. And he's like, it's 2:05, I'm gone, and he takes off. And we see him run into Ackman, and Ackman just beats the shit out of him because the assassin ends up bumping into Ackman and spilling his octopus balls, his takoyaki.
Yeah.
So no win for Angel. Angel 0, Ackman
right.
20.
Challenger 1.
Challenger 1,
defeated.
We pick up from there in the flats again, and Angel has hired a world-class martial artist, Master Yakimo Hiduru, which his name sounds like a potato makes you fat. That's what the liner notes say.
No, it says potatoes make you fart.
Oh, it says fart? Oh,
yeah.
I thought it said fat.
Potatoes make you fat.
Potatoes do make you fat.
So,
okay,
so then we find out he's got a 5-year loan that he'll have to pay back in installments of 10,000 yen monthly.
Do you think he gets money for those souls that he takes? Does he take souls as well?
No, maybe he gets his money from churches. I don't know.
Maybe from the donations.
Yeah. How bad would that be?
If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Yeah. Which I feel like with this chapter right here, this last panel on the first page, could have been the inspiration for One Punch Man, because Ackman goes, I'll send Mr. Champion to meet his maker with one punch.
Yeah, and the champion is like, oh, I'll take you down. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm the best. I'm the greatest in the world. Kind of like a Hercule, almost.
Yeah,
when you think about
Hercule, but he looks like a black Namek. Or not Namek. Nappa, that was his name.
Yeah, he looks like Nappa, but he's black.
Yeah.
And you see him crush these rocks and jump up, and he's like, oh, and what does Ackman do to the martial artist? He shoots him.
Yeah, just pulls out a gun right between the eyes.
He's like, what? Come on, you can't bring a gun.
Right. Which then he sees a dirty magazine, and I think it's really funny what he says. So instead of saying, oh God, he goes, Satan H. Lucifer. Instead of how people go, Jesus H. Christ.
Yeah, I'm going to start saying that.
Satan H. Lucifer.
He's giving me all my new catchphrases. Bad morning and Satan H. Lucifer.
And so then he sees a magazine on the floor, and it's a nudie mag,
Yeah, it's a nudie
and
mag.
we don't know if it came from the champion or not, but now Angel knows Ackman's basically weakness is women, anything kind of dirty, which I'm surprised. You would think that Angel would kind of be the one that would do that, but
Yeah.
kind of like shiver away from sexual things, but he's not.
Yeah, it's weird to think about that Ackman has that weakness when
Right.
he's supposed to be like this like bad kid, this evil person.
So, which I do like this next chapter. We get into chapter 7,
Uh-huh.
and we actually have some fourth wall break
Yo, this is a big fourth wall break.
because Angel is sitting there reading V Jump. You know, obviously it's a play off of Shonen Jump,
Yeah.
and he's reading the previous chapters, the previous two chapters, not the previous two chapters, the previous start of the series, chapters
Uh-huh.
1 and 2, to realize that baldiness
Mm-hmm.
is Ackman's weakness.
Yeah.
So he calls him back out to somewhere and says, "Oh, I have your funeral lined up.
Yeah. And
Are
Ackman's
you
like,
ready?"
what? What funeral? What are you talking about?
Which I like this thing too. He goes, uh, "Do you have feathers for wings and brains?"
Yeah. Yeah. He goes stupid.
So then we get some Bounce Chicka Wow
But
music
I
turned
like this.
on.
I like this part. And he's like, it's time to meet your maker. And he turns on this boombox. He's like, "What? You trying to kill me with this? With your taste in music?"
Yeah.
And he's like, I got you, And now let's meet Josephine Yamamoto. And Josephine is a buxom exotic dancer,
Yes.
and she starts taking off her unmentionables, her clothes, and she has some tassels on her titties. You get to see these tassels, and she's like flipping them around, and Ackman's like, oh, oh man, oh, and then she's like, all right, it's time to show you what's going on, and she takes off her
The
underwear.
the final blow.
She takes off her underwear for the final blow, and she has a wiener.
Right. Ackman
I love
goes,
this.
"Is
I
that
love
a
this.
wiener?"
Is that a wiener? But I love this part. She's taking him down, and you see her butt, and you see both of them like their eyes bulge out of their head, and the expression in or the what's in the caption. It's just two exclamation points, and they look like dicks.
Yeah.
They look like wieners, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, she's like, oh,
Which
she's like,
which this is
it's so
one that me and Mike talked about, that this is kind of a chapter before its time because this was made in 1994, is published
yeah.
in January, the January issue,
You want to know what this was published in?
V Jump.
V Jump. So V Jump was a book.
Yeah. But you know, he brings up Angel brings up that Josephine is transgendered. So
Yeah.
I think it's kind of funny that this chapter is so like ahead of its time because with other one books coming out like Androgynous Boyfriend and all this other stuff, like
Uh-huh.
we didn't even have any of those till like the last couple of years. So
Or Love Me for Who I Am, a
yeah,
big transgender book. You
yeah,
know.
so I mean, there's a lot. I mean, this is before BL started getting big and Yaoi
I
and
mean,
Yuri, really.
this though was played for like a big joke though.
Right.
Like they were like, "Oh, it's a wiener," which I'm not gonna lie. I was so tired the first time I read this, I totally glossed over this joke the first time.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, maybe he's just never seen a naked woman before. Like, I didn't put two and two together until I reread it for this morning. And I was like, oh, wait, he has a dick.
Yeah.
Because I was like, why is the black bar so long? And
Goodness.
Go ahead.
The real question here is if they're human or an alien, because there were two exclamation marks. Okay,
I think that was for both of them.
probably.
I think those
So
exclamation parts were for both of them, for Ackman and Angel.
so we get into chapter 8.
Oh yeah, he punches him out. He beats up the transgender woman.
Does he? I
No,
thought he just punched Angel.
oh wait, never mind. He just punches Angel. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay. So in chapter 8,
Yeah.
this brings me questions.
Okay. Okay.
I like American Horror Story,
Yeah.
and this made me think if there has ever been a TV show that has had crossed over with aliens and demons.
The
And then
Simpsons.
and then we have to talk about which one is the superior master race.
Oh. Oh. Well, not the aliens in this.
Can demons be possessed, or can aliens be possessed, or can they not, because demons are just of the world, you know?
No, no. I mean, do you want to start us off in this chapter and talk about
Yeah.
what's going
So
on?
Ackman thinks he sees a shooting star, and wishes for world discord. And we find
Yeah.
out that it's a UFO, and that we have these kind of like squid people.
Yeah.
Which this is different than the other. There's another squid design for Dragon Quest. These
Hmm.
guys have like the long mouths. The other ones don't.
You know, it
So
kind of reminds me of like Squidbillies
really,
a little bit. That's
goodness.
what I thought of when I saw it. Or like
So
Kang and Kodo from The Simpsons.
yeah. So he tries to talk to them about, oh, I want to work with y'all. I want to be able um, to help slaughter the earth. I just want to like collect the souls. That's about it. Let's work together.
Yeah. Yeah, let's work
And
together.
the aliens obviously have never. They're from Mars, but they've
Yeah.
obviously never been to the Earth before, because they
Hmm.
believe that Ackman is a human.
Yeah.
And one of the aliens ends up punching Ackman, and he goes kind of flying off. So obviously they do have some kind of strength.
Yeah.
And Ackman gets pissed off and comes back, charges him with the sword, and cuts one of them in half.
Yeah. But they're talking. I like this whole conversation they're having because they're like, "Oh, we studied the human planet, and the human planet is meek, weak. They're no match for us."
Yeah,
And our Ackman just wants to help them, like you said, but they're like, they're not going along with it. It's
right,
very much like they are the master race.
right. So he cuts one of them in half. He kicks one so hard that it basically explodes.
Yeah, that part's cool.
Yeah, and then right at the end of the last little scene, he goes, "Rats, I just made the world more peaceful again."
I like that part because he's so sad. He's so sad that
He's so pissed. He's pissed that he did that.
he's pissed that he did that.
So
But uh,
then
uh,
then in
go ahead.
chapter 9 we do get more of this soul of what the soul's exchange rate is, I guess.
Yeah. And so Ackman's mom tells him that she needs him to go like cash in the souls that they have to get money so they can pay their bills. And he's like, "Oh man, why do I have to go do this? Why can't dad do it or Medusa do it, which who is his sister?"
Yeah,
Medusa's out on a date and his dad's taking his night nap.
right.
I think it was. And so Ackman goes off onto a plane, a plane of some kind. It looks like a kind of like a World War II kind of plane, a little bit.
Well, did you see too, like, I question why they don't take all their souls at once? Uh,
No. Maybe they're trying to stash them.
I don't know, because when you're sitting there looking at it, they're taking 4 jars, but they have like shelves of jars with souls in it.
Maybe they're only taking what they need.
I kind of want to see like another chapter where somebody falls into one of the shelves and like it falls over and the souls escape or break out,
Oh yeah, that'd be funny. That'd
and
be
they have
funny.
like a oh no, I fucked up.
Yeah. But I love this. He's like, man, I don't want to go see the devil or whatever his name. I think it's the devil, right?
The Demon King.
The Demon King.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want to go see him. He's always talking about the ghoul old days, as he says.
So big question.
What?
Do you think this plane is Ackman's or his family's?
Probably his family's.
Did he have to buy it or not?
I'm gonna say it's probably his family's because it doesn't say Ackman on it.
Yeah, it didn't have an A. So
I mean,
he gets up.
his other cars have had like Ackman on it and stuff.
Yeah. So he's in the plane. He flies up to this floating little island in the sky that looks menacing because the volcanoes and everything have faces.
Yeah, this one has a smiley face on it.
Yeah, and he sees this old demon king that's decrepit and everything.
This one little guy looks like Bobbity.
Yeah, he does. And he gives the guy the souls, and they put it in basically a water decanter.
Yeah, where he's like straining the souls out, and he gets like a glass because that's all he gets. Because I guess souls are it's getting harder, I guess, to get souls. It seems like
Yeah, for him.
for him, and they give him souls, and in return they get money in exchange for
Yeah,
the souls. But he's like happy to see Ackman. He's like, "Oh, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a long time." And,
and then we get
Ackman's like, "I just want to get the fuck out of here. I
right.
just want to get the fuck. Give me the fucking money. Let's get out of here."
Then we get our first appearance of Witchney.
Yeah, Witchney, who is I want to say she's a demon as well. I think she's like his rival or like maybe like a childhood friend almost.
We don't actually know.
I wasn't really for sure on that.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I had to drink some water.
So somehow maybe it's like his sister's friend or something like that.
Maybe it's a sister's friend, maybe something like that. We don't really get any
But
context to that, but she
brings
has a
boxes upon boxes of souls.
yeah, they're on like a cart, and she's like, "Hey," Ackman's like, "Hey, are those all souls?" And they're like, "Oh my god, that's so many!" And like, "How many do you have?" And she's like 25,000 souls.
25,000
And
points.
yeah, something like that,
And
And
then
she
they
makes
do have
bank.
they do have a little talk though, which is what we talked about earlier of if you yourself kill the person, then it's worth like half a point.
Yeah,
You get
yeah,
half the points of whatever for that soul if you do it yourself. And she said that she did that. She killed him, and she still got saved up enough to do this 25,000 souls or so.
yeah. And he's like, "Oh my god, like she's fucking loaded." Like what do I gotta do? He's like, Ackman's like, marry me.
Yeah, give me
I
your hand
want
in
your
marriage.
give me your hand in marriage.
Which she has supplied enough for the Demon King to actually regain his muscular full body shape.
Yeah, and she gets more money for that.
Yeah.
She gets like a little
So then
extra on the top.
so then we get into chapter 10, which this is kind of our these last two chapters are kind of our end all be all to wrap up the Go Go Ackman series.
Yeah,
Um, so Angel has gotten out of jail, I
yeah.
guess
He's got
again.
out of jail. I don't know how he got out
I
of
guess
jail.
again. I guess again.
Yeah,
And has decided that he is going to work his ass off to have to get ripped because
oh, he gets buff.
he believes that him and Ackman will be able to fight and that he will basically make him eat his words and he'll be able to kill him.
Yeah, he ends up having like a paper route, doing construction, chopping wood, pulling boulders.
Yeah.
Uh, what is that? What is that one
So
he's doing next to the boulder?
next to the
Oh, he's
boulder.
catching fish with his mouth.
Yeah.
That's what I was like. What is he doing? But he's training. He's training. When I first read this, I thought he was doing like odd jobs,
Yeah.
like odd jobs, or
Um,
maybe he was working at the prison.
so then we kind of have like a Ginyu Force scene where he's sitting there flexing his muscles. Hey, look at me! Look how beautiful my
Well,
muscles
he
are.
finds Ackman.
Yeah, yeah. He calls him back
Yeah,
out to the flats.
yeah. Oh, I thought he found him. It takes him
No,
a whole year to train. We forgot that he takes a whole year to train
yeah,
and get to this physique that he has.
and he's ready for their fight.
Yeah,
And as he's approaching, running up to punch Ackman, Ackman pulls a gun on him.
and shoots him.
Yeah, shoots him, grazes his face, and he says, "Well, that's not fair using a gun." And Ackman just says, "Well, says who?" And so then we have Angel running away, basically to, um,
He's gonna be a gunslinger next.
yeah, to never be seen again.
Yeah, basically. And we come to our final chapter.
Right,
Uh, Ackman and Witchney are talking. Ackman really wants to marry Witchney for the money, obviously. He doesn't really care about her. He just wants the money. He's
right,
like, come on, marry me, marry me. As she is slaughtering hundreds upon hundreds of people,
right.
they're just having this casual conversation about marriage. And she's like, no, no, I don't need you.
Right.
You're not my type. You're just a
Well,
kid.
and
He's like,
then he does the kid thing where he goes, "Oh, uh, I'm over 200."
yeah, he's like, I'm over 200 years old. And she's like, I'm 455 years old.
It
Yeah,
just reminds me of like teenagers or whatever with like their
yeah.
older sister's friends
It's like, oh,
being
that's
like,
okay.
"Can we
I'm
date?
15. I'm 15. I'm
Can
gonna
we
be
date?
16 soon.
I'm 18."
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm 13.
I'm gonna be 14 next year or next
Yeah.
month. You know,
So they're
or
still talking about this though, and she proposes that well, and then we kind of get like almost a polyamorous open relationship thing between them because she says, "Oh, well, I'm dating this guy," and he
mhm.
says, "Oh, that's fine. You can still date him as long as we get married."
As she's killing people,
Right.
remind you, she's killing people. And he's very persistent about this.
Yeah. And she says she'll marry whoever wins this
Yeah,
competition
yeah.
of straight. I just thought it was really funny that he said that. I don't care if you date that person as long as you just marry.
Marry me and give me money. Just give me the
Right.
money. Yeah, he doesn't care. But I like this
So,
part. So we meet D Devil,
right.
who is
Which I wonder if he really is a devil or if he's supposed to be an alien or something too.
I don't know. He has
I
the
mean,
pointy ears like a devil.
yeah, yeah. And I'm just trying to think why Ackman is so much more powerful than him. I mean, unless like maybe Ackman's family is like almost like a royal bloodline thing. I mean, I could see that,
Maybe
I
it's
guess.
possibly maybe like how like you have like Dracula, then you have like other vampires.
Right, right,
Kind of like the whole Alucard thing in Helsing.
right, right. So, um, which I like the saying, basically like not the sharpest marble in the box or something like that.
Yeah.
He says, not exactly the sharpest scythe in the shed, is he?
As he's licking a lollipop,
Yeah.
D Devil's licking a lollipop.
So
He's like, I got a
they're
lollipop.
they're going into their fight, and
Yeah,
Aquaman grabs his fist and just hurls him.
yeah, and wins. He beats him up. Obviously, he headbutts him. Takes him out, and Witchney realizes that Ackman is super strong and
Right.
stronger than D Devil, and she's like, "Oh my god, I will marry you." And her that very night, our manga ends, or our chapter ends. The story ends with Witchney running after Ackman in her lingerie, wanting to
Consummate their relationship.
consummate their marriage, and he's like, uh, he's like, if you do that again, we're getting divorced. Knock it off. So Ackman clearly does not want anything to do with the ladies. Do you think it's because he's a
Right.
child? In demon years, he's a child. He's like, ew,
Probably.
girls.
I really
You know?
wonder. I really wonder though when he said "knock it off" if you do that again. I really wonder what she did.
Oh yeah, I would like to know what she did too,
If they like had sex
or
or
if she
what,
tried to force herself onto Ackman.
right?
You
Or
know?
I mean anything.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
obviously, Ackman is not the person that wants to know any of this stuff,
yeah. He just wants to look at him. He doesn't
right?
want to participate.
He doesn't even want to look. He just wants money.
That's true. Yeah. But yeah, what'd you think of this story?
I thought it was pretty funny. I was
Yeah.
a little upset that we didn't have more of things.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, because some of the ones like this, I feel like with Akira Toriyama, do or are written in a way that it consumes you, so you want to keep reading it.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that was kind of the thing. We didn't have more of it come out.
Well, you know what's funny though is so I was doing research on this one and looking it up, and this got an animated like feature, like it's like a short 15-minute anime
Yeah,
for it, and it got 3 video games made about it.
yeah,
3 video games over like this short story, like, so it was somewhat popular, but I'm curious as to why he didn't continue the story. Because obviously there was popular enough to have an anime short and video games made after it. Because there was, and I wanted more. Like I would love to have more in this series. It was a fun little series. It was quite different than what we normally get in this type of manga or Akira Toriyama's manga.
right.
And I don't know, it left me wanting more. But I'm glad we got what we got, I guess. It's like it's felt like almost like a proof of concept almost
Yeah,
that didn't get really picked up.
right.
Maybe it just didn't sell as well as other things. I don't know. Or maybe he just didn't have time to make it into a main series. Because was he doing Dr. Slumpa and Dragon Ball at this time or not?
I think so.
Was he doing, or was Dr. Slump before Dragon Ball? I can't remember.
Doctor Slump was before Dragon Ball.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, I mean, like, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. This was a dirty book. This book was dirty. I'm always really surprised at how like much fan service is in like an Akira Toriyama book. But you get like slight hints of fan service and stuff like that. It was really funny. Like
Yeah,
I like the jokes. I thought it was funny. But yeah, I mean, it was a good read. It was a fun little read. I'm glad it was more than one chapter. If it was one
yeah,
chapter, I don't know if I would feel the same way about it, because I feel like we got to get into the world and learn more about the world and stuff like that.
right. And this was the one out of this entire book that you actually said that was more profound than everything else, right?
I haven't read any anymore. This is the only part I've read.
Okay.
This is the only chapter. This is the
Uh,
only short story
well,
I've read. I
I,
haven't even
I
tracked.
thought you did some research on it.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's the most like well known that I can think of, but I haven't really looked at the other ones yet, so
Yeah.
it's really hard to say exactly which ones are if the other ones are popular. But I know that one got like the video games and the anime about it, so
Yeah.
I don't know if the other ones have. But I'll have to do more research when we get to those and see what we'll get, and if they will hold up to this, because this one I thought was fun. It was a lot of fun to read. I like Ackman wasn't necessarily the hero. He wasn't like a goody two shoes. He was all around. He was a bad guy.
Yeah.
A,
That's
an
true.
odd
He
an odd bad guy, but he was a bad guy.
he was a dark hero.
He was a dark hero who looked like young Trunks or Kid Trunks,
Kid
kind of.
Trunks with the nose.
Yeah, he had no nose and he looked like a demon.
Right.
But yeah, I
He
enjoyed it.
was
I'm out.
he was gray, which we wouldn't never known he was gray without some color art here and there,
Yeah.
some
So
color
what
pages.
what would you give this short story a rating?
Uh, I would probably say a 4.5. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed it. I just wish that there was a little more ironed out of it, maybe.
I'd have to give it a 3.5. I wish there
Oh,
was more of it.
right.
I wish there was more of it. I wish the chapters were a little longer. It seemed like everything seemed to wrap up very nice and neat in each chapter.
Yeah.
Like we would come to a head in each chapter very fast, and a conclusion to each chapter would be concluded
Ha,
very
ha,
fast and
ha.
wrapped up.
Josephine came to a head too.
Oh yeah,
You're
pervert,
welcome. You're welcome.
pervert. But yeah, yeah. I mean, it was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
that also, like, I can't wait to read more of this and see where it all kind of goes
yeah.
from
True,
here.
most definitely. Yeah, because we got a lot more to go over and look at
Right.
to check out.
So, yeah. Well, everybody watching, stay tuned for more content. This will be, or is, our episode 49. Stay tuned because episode 50 is our uh, big episode that we will be covering something, I don't want to say near and dear, but something that is, I don't know, what would you say, Mike?
It happens. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it happens. It's a very big sought about topic and things that need to be pointed out. Um, you know, other stuff like that. So stay tuned because episode 50 will be our last episode for our quote unquote season. Um,
I thought our last episode for our season was episode. What is the porn star episode?
no, we were going to do episode 50 as the end of the season.
Okay, then. Okay.
Yeah, because this year, whenever we get to the end, we should actually be at like 52 or
Well,
something
the
like
end.
that.
The end's like this coming week.
Right? No, I mean the next year.
Oh, next year. Okay.
Yeah. So we put our seasons in chunks of 50. So,
Okay.
but anyway, guys, that will be our last episode. Stay tuned in for that. It is a little bit of a controversial thing, especially for me and Mike. But it does mean a lot for us to be able to share our experience with it because everybody should have some form of protection against it and see the signs and other things like that. So stay tuned for that topic. We'll probably let y'all know later on. Thanks for listening to this show of Go Go Ackman. And we will see you later on. Stay tuned for more
I
great
want.
content.
I want to say, if you read this and you want to give your opinion on it, drop it in our Instagram and just we can chat
Right.
about it. You know.
Yeah. Or like we said earlier, now that you know that we have this, pick up the book, let us know, read this chapter, let us know about it, and then stay tuned because then maybe we can let you know when we're going to cover another story out of this book, and you can read along with us. So, but anyway, guys, thanks. We hit episode 49 finally, and as always, we'll see you next Tuesday.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah.